Now we hot. Look at that blue. Man, this is a painting or something for a minute. Anyway, so we be waiting for Marquita to begin the Marquita and Mark show. We have a reality show. First thing we're going to do is try and find out how long we've been doing this. Someone might think we just got started. That would be true. Hold on, I got a little bit of coffee left, so I'm going to have to enjoy it. So I could ask Steve back there. You didn't see I was in there. I went over and talked with Steve while he checked out what tires he had in his back shop. Now let me hook this onto my shirt. Yeah, it's a little wireless. It's called a Lavalier. I don't know what it is. Lavalier microphone. And it means $12, I think, including shipping. $12. Here we are. This is the oh, there it goes. Here, let's see one of our first guests. Guest just went away. Anyway, see, there's Steve's tire. Terrific tire. Tire action. I wonder, I'll have to turn this around. I think that's going to show up backwards. It does right now. Maybe we can fix that. We've still got signs. We just had Hurricane Ian. And I drove over here the next day. And one was all wrinkled up and one was gone. I thought, oh my God, our signage. But no problem. There's Steve. He's the terrific tire guy. And the first question for either of them, he doesn't know he's on a reality show yet, is going to be, when did we get started? When did I first appear on the scene? I believe Marquita is the first person I talked to, and the first thing I said to her was, come on, man, try my golf swing, would you? I just invented only the second golf swing on earth. Come on, you'll love it. And she seemed open-minded about it. But that was before I knew how dark her thinking could be. And anyway, so like, when did this start? I have a window of between 3 to 5 years. I think it's closer to 4 and 5. She might help us, but she was the first one I think I talked to. And then I ended up going upstairs and talking to Steve, and I laid it all out for him. I just met him. I said, all right, I'm going to be rich and famous, and I'll give you half. That was our first meeting, I think. He was eating himself a sub sandwich at the time. He was making himself comfortable up in his little office, and I was comfortable. I hadn't always been comfortable. Steve's always been good with me. He's got a flat line in there where he never dissembles. It's always going on the same way. Quiet, centered. Sometimes you'd see him a little frazzled. Just open this business. The hell. He has one over on, which Marquita manages, over on Nova Road, which is, I mean, they barely got signs. There's nothing on the frontage. He's behind some businesses in the back, but everybody knows Steve. I found that out because when I first got started, we got plenty of time for this. We don't need Marquis to be on time. She may not show at all. She didn't last week. And she does not respond to text messages. I've been messaging her for, like I said, 4 or 5 years. I don't know. I've never heard back from her. And today it was, let me push this button, see what it does. Yeah, a close-up of a close-up. I'll always take it back. Where was I? Where was I? Well, that's it. My refreshments have given out. Anyway, so the whole idea is now who's this? Oh yeah, that's that kid. Let's see if we catch him coming by. He doesn't know he's on TV either. I'll have to get him to sign non-disclosure agreements. NDAs. Anyway, so okay, so I'm going to start here. So just go get him to sign up right now. He's in there. I can't see him. I mean, he's backwards in there. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I must have had cards made for myself having to do with It's the Real Swing. No, 3nd2.com. The letters, I just couldn't believe. I thought this was going to be the easiest thing for people to type in, and I thought that was the important part. If they had to type in blah, 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 they wouldn't even do it. So I thought 3ND2 would be great. Then every time you do it, you have to say, that's the letter numeral 3, ND, numeral 2.com. And then when you have to do it on your phone, you have to switch back and forth from letters to numbers. And that's fucked up. That's no good. That's no fun. There's nothing fast about that. So, turns out to have been a bad choice. Thought I was making it the smallest thing you would have to type, but didn't work out. Turns into a nightmare. Anyway, so I was I've called a lot of people asking for work, and I'm a sign painter, so I can really run a brush. So I called all these sign shops, or I mean, house painting people. Called these house painting people, and one guy called me back. He said, "Yeah, we got this job for you over blah blah blah." And it was a brick building, 2 stories high, residential building. He was painting, and I think he just didn't like being where he was. So he gave me the job, and I painted as far up as I could until it was going to come to having to have a 2-story ladder with 3 feet from the building to the fence, like a 4-foot tall cyclone fence, or maybe less. And there was no way. You couldn't put the ladder in the other yard and get up there. It was freaking impossible. So I got paid $100 for my first day, and then the second day it was just like, well, I can't do this. And anyway, I noticed that, I would call it, as far as I know, I noticed a trap 2 doors down, maybe next door. So I came back the next week with some of my business cards. I don't think I had the QR on there yet, which, if I got one here, I could show my shirt. That's got the logo on it with the QR. And you aim your camera at it, and you start one of my videos. Starts up. And anyway, so I handed out these guys. I came back to the trap one day, and they were some very skeptical people sitting there. I laid out my cards. I said, I'm just doing this. I don't know why. I don't know what's it. And then I went around, and I said, I'll try there. I'll try there. I'll try there. So I went to about 5 or 6 places in the neighborhood and gave out some more cards. Anyway, this would go on. I mean, it'd take a couple months for me to get the balls up to do it again. But that was an impermanent. I got one more stop there. Somebody came up on me with a bike on a bicycle. Had his lunch with him, and it was established that there wasn't much going on. So I came back to the same neighborhood again another time, but there was nobody there still. But there was someone just a little way away on a side street, and they had like a tarp cover, maybe they had some shade. And I did the same thing. Gave him a bunch of cards. Said I'll be back. And I met all these people, and everybody knew this guy, Steve Green, Terrific Tire. Everybody knew him. One lady, I stopped at the laundry, and she had purple hair. So and I asked him later, she said, hey, she says she's a cousin. Oh, God, yes, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So anyway, I got a pretty good idea that people in a certain age group, everybody knew Steve. And I got to get known about town on account of this effort. Well, I guess I can just go home and load this up and send it to Marquita and see if she even notices or pays attention. Still don't know that. 3, 4, 5 years, don't know yet. I could say I'm going to go home and have some breakfast, but when you're vegan, there's nothing that simple. Well, yeah. I always have toast and vegan butter, which is just great because you don't have to worry about cholesterol anymore. So, like, you can make popcorn and butter to your life's extent. Butter. And it ain't gonna hurt you, so. Anyway, but when it comes to breakfast and stuff, I saw somebody on Bill Maher, he said, these people are hangry. They're all hangry. I can't disagree. Because we probably almost all, I know a woman who's started when she was 4. Her parents got her They went vegan when she was 4. She's almost my age. And I will only say this for a little while longer. Let me see how many months we are. Maybe 4 months away, I will be. I can't believe it either. Well, you might, because this close-up I'm pretty frickin' ugly. But some people can't believe I'm going to be 70. But that will be when I never have to make up any excuses. I play pickleball at a place here in Daytona called Pictona. It's going to be a world-class venue pretty soon. Maybe even next year have an actual tournament. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I won't have to say anything pretty soon. I'll just say, hey, I'm 70. Right now, 69 doesn't mean much to me. It's when you hit when you ding the big bell, that's when people give you some respect. Okay, so we're going to turn this off and go home, upload it, pass it out, see if we can't set up another day to get our reality show going. You may not know. It is based on my having discovered only the second golf swing on Earth. If I have. No one knows. I've been working on it. I've been saying 15 years for years. There was an 8-year gap in there where I didn't do anything, but it's just 15 years since I first started. And so of course you can't prove it to anybody here. Let's get going. Employee. See you later, Marquita. So we're gonna get back on the road. Figure out what to do with I can't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, this is going quite well. Ask me. So it was like, how is she going to be comfortable coming and having the first person who tries out this swing where there are no guarantees? That's what I was going to say. I tried to figure out for years. It was like, I can't prove this swing works unless I can show somebody actually learn it, because my theory is that kids can learn this in a day. Be done with it. No more 35 years of getting refresher courses here and there. But I can't prove it. I've never been able to prove it. So that's what it's been. Me and Marquita, if she will take a lesson from me. But that's not all. This is a reality show. We're not. Heck, I could go over and I could do it. I've got everything ready. I can go over and there, look at this. This is an unkempt pickleball court. Oh, and right over there, that is, and it solved everything. Where's Marquita gonna be comfortable? Well, the only way you can be comfortable in golf is by yourself. You must be by yourself. But of course, golf demands that you play with others. Play well with others. And there's the rub. Golf is the most self-conscious. Anyway, so where will Marquita be? Who wants to be the first person to? There's no proof that she's going to be able to do it, or anybody else is going to be able to do it. So it is a gamble. What is that tire doing? Someone's been killed. The next to me. Uh-oh, look out. Here comes a Trumpster. Nope, just a football fan. Oh my God. I finally slipped out of the shoes of uncertainty where my choices in life have been questioned all this time. Well, I slipped off those penny loafers. Once I Googled what is the average time of an NFL game and how much actual time is spent in play. Well, it's poetic justice that they're off by a minute. The one is 3 hours and 10 minutes. The other, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. I think we're talking whistle to whistle. Yeah, out of 3. And people hear me with baseball. Boy, it's boring. Baseball's boring. 3 minutes and 11 seconds. You're going to sit through 3 hours and 10 minutes to harvest 3 minutes and 11 seconds. No more excuses. I don't have to stand up for baseball. They are in action at all times. They are. If you care enough, if you know enough, you can enjoy a pitcher's. I don't even know what it was they were complaining about with baseball. I know they've been doing everything they can to speed it up. And we actually have an unusual addition to those facts, which is, for the first time, one way they were going to speed it up was we're going to put a ghost runner at second in extra innings, or what I call free baseball. Well, they did that for the first time all year this year, and it absolutely cut down on the time of game. And why did we want to do that? Oh, little problems like there was a playoff game a couple of years ago. And unfortunately, I have MLB.TV, and they will not adjust for the fact, well, in our case, we barely ever we never show commercials. It's the Tampa Bay Rays. That's all I watch. And nobody runs commercials on their TV show. So it's just blank between the end of an inning and the start of the next one. 2.5 minutes, 3, whatever it is. So you can fast forward, but it has a timeline underneath. And when you fast forward, you find out exactly how far on you are. And in this playoff game a few years ago, we got to the 9th inning, and the timeline said, you are halfway through this game. Yeah, it went 7 hours plus. But because of that stupid ass timeline, there is no drama. You can see, you can go do your weekly grocery shopping for a family of 4. Because the game isn't going to be decided for another 2.5 hours. My God. So anyway, because of anomalies like that, well, let's get back to our anomalies after this story, which is for the first time, because it's a postseason game, they don't have the ghost runner at second. They don't have the free runner starting out at second, which is what cuts the games down by time so immensely. So for the first time in the playoffs, they're not doing that. So guess what my timeline says? There are 2 hours left in the game, and we are through 10 innings. And there's still 2 hours left. Oh my God. How are they going to cure this? How can they take, I mean, for all these people, you're blacked out. You can't see the game that you want to see because you're in the same state. And they're afraid you might, well, no, they want you watching their TV channel. So they have that agreement, I understand. But there's got to be a way out. Maybe pay an extra $20 a month to get out of the commercials. I'd do it. Because these aren't real baseball games. You can't tell when they're going to end. I mean, you can tell when they're going to end. Where's the fun in that? Drama. Gone. Well, I've returned to my pit stop, we'll call it. It's a pit. Trailer park. I've been living in trailer parks for close to 20 years now. Yeah, it's not my first rodeo. I started in one. Jeez. Anyway, I didn't want to have to pay more than $350 at one point, so I went back out on the road looking for my next trailer, and no, 400 minimum. Well, now I'm up to close to 6, so that's half my income. Being a Social Security recipient. Now, I have to fix fix this. Most of that junk doesn't matter. We just have to get there, we're all set. I've been leaking forever. And then I made the mistake of buying 5W40 synthetic oil. The guy told me I should switch to synthetic. Well, apparently 5 means there's something thin about it because it's just gushing over with oil I can't use anymore. And I ordered a second 5-gallon or 5-quart thing of it, and the guy won't answer me back. I need to trade it in and get something a little more healthy. Okay, we're done with our first inning. This is it. Love you, bye.